he looks to throw, looking deep downfield. He's got a receiver open. It is complete. That is Stevens for a touchdown.
The Bulldog Radio Network proudly presents the Coach Gray Show on 102.7 FM, Kearney's hometown radio station. And now, here are the hosts of the show, Mike Davis, Jim Dickerson, and Coach Josh Gray.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Thank you. That's our live studio audience right there. And Brian Watts is here today. I mean, looking fine. Yes, no doubt about it, man. You just look more handsome today for some reason, Brian. I don't know what it is.
You know what's funny already?
What?
He's sweating already.
Well,
I don't know if you noticed it, but before we came on, I guess there was a network delay, and so the local affiliates picked it up, but the network was still like 3 seconds out, so it goes completely black. And I could see Brian's punching buttons over there, and he's going, "What's going on?" and all that. So
he saved it, though. Here we
we're
are.
all here.
This is the Coach Gray Show.
All across the country.
Welcome to the Coach Gray Show. It's what we do every Thursday at noon during football season, the Kearney Bulldog football season, which we love, win or lose. We love it. We love winning better, but, Coach, welcome to the show. Good seeing you.
Thank you. Happy Thursday on y'all.
And same to you. Same to you, sir. Interesting, fun things going on with regard to the football schedule. And I'm going to turn to my friend and co-host, Mr. Jim Dickerson, and your voice of the Kearney Bulldogs to... Oh, baby, listen to that. Yeah, you got a fan club in there.
Don't be a hater.
Those are called groupies right there. Jim, help us understand what's going on with the scheduling.
Well, first of all, before we do scheduling, we have to talk about the dog, because we're still doing Name the Dog. And Mike's lost it. Anyway, we have to do Name the Dog. So when you going to be all right?
I'll be good.
Okay, good.
Oh, man.
This is what we do on Thursdays. You should know that by now, Coach.
Yeah.
2 minutes in.
Right.
So on the dog thing, so you'll remember when we first did it, we said, keep it clean. Clearly, you didn't listen. However, having said that, some of those were really funny. Not going to lie about that. So it was funny. We went through a bunch of them last week. The leading thing right now is actually one that someone came into the booth before we did the game last week and mentioned, and I was going to see what you think of it.
All right.
Why are you laughing
Well,
already?
I don't know what you're going to say.
Well, we're on radio, so it'll be clean.
Yeah,
I know, yeah.
I'm not going to read some of these that came in, but
Oh, man.
those were funny, though. KMO.
KMO the Bulldog.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
KMO.
KMO.
And the more I thought about it, the more I liked it, and it's made its way up the list. What do you think,
I
Mike?
think we might have a winner.
Brian?
He's shaking his head. Yes. Do we need a motion and a
Well,
second?
we won't do it. So let us know what you think. Make sure. So the one thing we've
KMO.
got to do, with all these names too, we have to make sure that like they're not copyrighted, or because someone came up with Bruiser, which is the
Right.
mascot, so we can't use that, and we always have to make sure that like someone goes, oh, you can't use that because
Well, we can put a circle C after KMO, and it'll be KMOC,
but then you get.
right? That's dumb.
You got Brian on that one. Guys in the booth are back there laughing and stuff. So anyway, let us know your thoughts on KMO, and we'll go with that. And that's all I've got to say about that.
Get to the important stuff. That was awesome.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Well, that
done.
sounded
Well done.
You know, that sounded like a Batman break in there. Whatever that was, you know. You know what I'm talking about, yeah. It was something in the Gotham City.
So it's a signal. So we have completely derailed this show. You're on the Coach Gray Show. The other interesting thing, and we're going to talk to the coach about this, is as you well know, or maybe you don't, the game tomorrow is no longer against Raytown South. It's against Reed's Spring. Reed's Spring is located down south. For those of you who go to Branson and Table Rock and all that, you're probably pretty familiar with it. Reed's Spring, do you know where it is?
Yeah.
Do you know
Absolutely.
what Reed Spring is?
Yes, it was a man named, last name was Reed, and is only one spring. So it is not Reed's Springs or Reed Springs.
Close. It was named after a gentleman called Jeff Reed. Now, Jeff Reed lived in the 1700s, and he got water to his home through a spring. He built a spring system which gave water to the entire town, which at the time was population 7, and they entirely lived off of Reed's Spring. And that's how the city got its name.
Very good.
True or false?
All right.
I'm gonna
go.
Oh, that's a question?
Yeah.
You're asking me if that, I'm going to say that is true.
Mike?
Knowing you as well as I know you, Jim, it's false. I mean, with a big F.
Mike wins. I made that up
God.
entirely. None of that is true.
He's good at it, though, Coach, right? He's very good at that. He will draw you in.
You did.
So
Yep.
the only thing that's
Like
true,
a spider to a web.
the only thing that's true about that story is there is going to be a football game down there tomorrow. And so
Are you sure?
What was that sound? It's a funny, like a buzzing bee that came out of your throat. That was interesting.
I have so many questions because you guys aren't, this is not normal for you guys to travel this far. If it weren't, I mean, if you were, we were in
We're in
state-
unprecedented
Yeah.
times. I mean, I think that wherever we can look to, and that's how it kind of came to fruition.
So
was-
how did they pick that though?
So obviously Ray South had was not able to play this week.
Right.
So was it Tuesday during practice? Got a phone call or a text.
Just 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago. It's about 4:30, I think it was, something like that, 5 o'clock
In the morning and the afternoon?
in the afternoon.
Okay.
In the midst of practice. And there was an opening and we want to play, so we
So did they call you
Look,
first and say there is no
there's-
game, and then they called you and said, here's what we can do? So it wasn't like you got both calls at the same time?
correct. Right.
So
You're correct.
Help us out here, Coach.
You're correct. Yeah. So that's how that.
here's the coach's answer.
Yes. That's right.
So let me help you out.
How did we get that? How
I'll
did
tell
we?
you, man, this show gets better
Yes.
every week.
Well, I was going to say, okay, who called you? It's like he's in the principal's office. Then what did Johnny do?
Yeah.
So who called you? Did
So their athletic director called our athletic director, knowing that we needed a game, then heard that we needed a game. And
why don't they have a game? Same problem?
same issue. That's a lot of schools around right now. I know there's several schools in our immediate area that are looking for games because of being
Right,
teams
the
being quarantined, the
restrictions, right.
all the things that are kind of going on, and may not be them, but obviously their opponent, or for whatever reason,
Or the county they live in,
right,
or whatever, or play in, or whatever.
right, whatever's going on. So so I don't know if there's a AD's talk and there's sites, and you kind of try to find a game, and that's kind of how that kind of worked. Is their AD contacted us and
So
worked it out, and
what division class?
Yeah, good
'cause
question.
They're
Good question.
way outside of.
they're class 3
Okay.
3 school.
Jim,
Yeah.
still there?
Yeah,
You're staring at me. I'm
hello.
not.
Well, I'm processing that in my
Okay.
head because I'm trying to think. I don't know.
This is the radio. You got to keep moving.
Thank you, Mike.
Come on. Come on.
I love working with this guy. This is awesome. 45 more minutes. So, what?
I'm getting
Class-
on.
I'm out.
No, I'm getting on the local internet.
How did we
here.
get hooked up with them?
Well,
So it's
yeah,
about, I
yeah.
guess for us, it's about finding the right team to play, to find a team, to find a game so our kids can continue to play. And that early in the season was, all right, hopefully we get to play. Now we have an opportunity to go play a game, and whatever we need to do to go ensure that was kind of the.
Do you know, have they played this year on a regular basis?
yeah,
or?
they-
I have
they've-
information.
Oh, okay.
They've played-
Late breaking news, boys. Right here, Reed Spring football home, and their mascot is the Wolves. I was going to make a sound effect, but Jim would get angry if I did. And they are Reed Spring, Missouri, and they are 2-3 overall, and 1-2 in their district. So if that helps anybody out, it certainly
Well,
helps.
that
us.
assumes that they
Yes.
played
They
their
played
normal,
a full, right.
But did they
I
play,
believe so.
Pull the mic there. Did they play
Yep.
their normal schedule thus far? Or they,
I believe they have, yeah.
They played, yes, Jim, and I'm glad you asked, East Newton.
right. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Which was a win, 41 to nothing.
They're
Lamar.
not a very good team.
They lost to Lamar.
Lamar's pretty good.
Yeah, and that was 27 to 23, fairly close game.
Yeah.
And Mount Vernon, 28 to 10, was a loss.
They're a pretty good team.
And a win against Hollister, 24-18. And on the second, they played Marshfield and lost 42 to 25. They are scheduled for this Friday night, 10-9 at 6 p.m. Reed Spring will host Kearney. Reed Spring 2 and 3, Kearney 2 and 5.
6 p.m. That's an hour.
6 p.m.
early.
We bumped it up an hour.
Oh, so
It
you
was
don't
bumped
get
up
home
an
at
hour.
like 5 in the morning
Exactly.
or something like that, and you
Yep.
don't have to buy hotels, and
Yeah, that we're gonna truck home after that.
that sounds fun. So what do you know about them? They have a one-legged quarterback like Mike.
I knew that was going to be a question that you were going to wonder. What are they like and what do they do? We traded film Tuesday night. We got film and we traded with them, and we're able to watch that and get that rolling for practice yesterday and practice today. And
Well,
We'll
I
head
mean,
on down,
but
so-
you know, actually, that's pretty cool because in the days of we joke about this, but in the days of true film, you would have never been able to get it. I mean,
you would have
unless
had to
someone
meet
drove
halfway.
down
You
there.
would have to
Yeah.
meet halfway in a coffee shop, and
So you just
and
download
change
it. And,
we just download it and up and get
So-
it on and view it and
so
go
what'd
through,
you-
go
what'd
through the
you-
stuff. They've got, I think they've got their running back is a very got a fairly decent speed, runs really hard. He also plays one of their inside linebackers. Very solid team. I mean, they've got some big guys up front on the O-line, D-line type guys. And, they're going to try to hit look like they, from what we've seen, they run a bunch of, they're not afraid to throw the ball here and there and then try to utilize their speed to hit the perimeter. And, this will be a good game for us. For sure.
No doubt about that.
That's, you come into a game midweek where you're getting, figuring out who you're playing and get going from the guys wondering whether they're going to have a game and getting them prepared. Then on Wednesday or Tuesday, late breaking, hey, we got a game, guys are excited, and then putting it together, we're going to have to be dialed in on our trip down and dialed in once we get there.
But I think it's pretty cool that you guys, that everybody has gone to the lengths they have to at least play a game.
Right.
I mean,
And accommodate each other.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way that we probably would never have seen before.
And then that's about the kid. I mean, these guys have worked so hard to have a season.
Right.
And the measures and the things that we've done to try to ensure that, it's a crying shame to lose a game.
Oh, no doubt.
From what we've started with from the get-go. So, I mean, that's been kind of the thing, is wherever we need to go and the good matchup. And
It sure is. I think this is probably the best example of a team having to just, you play the team that's in front of you. And you're coached to do the things that you've been taught throughout this early part of the season. And all of the assignments, all of the plays, all of the coaching, everything is all there. The team just has to execute.
it has to gel.
So let's come back and talk about
Yes, sir.
that. And we're going to take a break right now. You're listening to the Coach Gray Show. We are having a great time here. It's a lot of fun. Stay with us.
Corporate underwriters of KPGZ programming include these fine businesses.
Whether you're a large or small business, or just want internet at your home, Casey Coyote is here to help with all your internet needs. We pride ourselves on being a redundant, resilient, and reliable network to provide you with the best internet available. You can give Casey Coyote a call and talk to one of our local, friendly customer service representatives to see if you pre-qualify for our service at your home or business. Casey Coyote at 816-866-3038.
Injuries can happen anywhere, playing sports or playing with your kids or grandkids.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Strathland with the Kearney Family Chiropractic Center, and I've been practicing chiropractic health in Kearney for over 22 years. When you come to see me, I identify what's wrong and determine if I can help you. If I can, I create your personalized plan for relief.
When you have pain, you can make an appointment by calling 816-628-6738. Kearney Family Chiropractic Center. Heal yourself.
Legendary Lawn Care. That's right. Legendary is your one-stop lawn equipment center. They've got over 40 years of experience with technicians who service all makes and models of lawn equipment. 4853 Southeast Highway PP in Holt. 816-320-3878. And don't forget to look for the special coupon on 1027carneymo.com/coupons. Let the friendly and knowledgeable staff at Legendary Lawn Care find the right legendary service for your needs.
Friday Night Sports. When athletes compete, they give it their all. At Liberty Hospital Sports Medicine, we're staying open Friday nights after the lights to treat the bumps and bruises that are part of the game. At Liberty Hospital Sports Medicine, we'll have physicians available to evaluate and treat right on the spot. So after the lights, remember Liberty Hospital Sports Medicine every Friday night from 9 to 11 p.m.
And welcome back to the Coach Gray Show. I do want to get to the Winnetonka game. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But, Coach, as we discuss you guys going down and playing at Reed's Spring here on Friday night, we were talking about just before the break that this is a good opportunity to put into play that whole notion of the kids doing what they do, continuing to execute what they learn in practice, what they've practiced all year long, all season long. The coaching, everything has to come together to play a game here that wasn't exactly planned to begin with. And so talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think especially coming off the loss to Tonka, right, which I know we'll get to, but, I think it gives us an opportunity to refocus on what it is, where we're at, what have we learned thus far in the season? And, through adversity and through tough situations, kind of like where we're at right now. I mean, but obviously that's not what we work for. It's not what our kids strive for. It's not, but that's what it is. And that's where we're at. How do you learn from those adverse times and those adverse moments, not only in football, but, in life. And there's not a day that everything just goes super hunky-dory all the time. There's things that come up that you got to be able to deal with and work through. And these are one of those times I think there's a great learning opportunity for our kids to persevere through, to make sure that, hey, what is it that we need to fix, or what is it that we need to continue to work on to execute? Because, there was a lot of good things I think that happened on last Friday, and
let's talk about
the outcome wasn't there, but I think we just have to continue to push through and to make sure that we continue to get better. And there were signs of that on Friday. And, so, it's not where you're at right now. It's what are you going to do and how are you going to respond and learn for the next time, and to put a whole game together, or to, not let up, or not, not get comfortable and where that's at. And being a young team, those are learning moments and teachable moments that I think our guys are responding to and have done, and will continue to learn.
Right. Let's talk about, and good segue, just bringing folks up to speed. Kearney led the game for nearly 3 quarters, and they looked as if they were about to hand the Griffins their first loss of the season. until Winnetonka rallied late in the fourth quarter for a 20-16 victory. And, man, you guys played a whale of a game. And to see that thing just slip away was so difficult. It had to be just doubly difficult for you to stand there and see, to witness that.
Yeah, I mean, when you have that and you're in that position like that, that's, it's about, again, kind of like I said before, we did a lot of good things, and that's what we have to continue to build on, and our guys buy into that, and our guys work their tails off, and the coaches do, and it's that whole piece now has got to transfer into finishing the ball game and to make sure we're executing at the end like we did at the beginning, and we made a lot of great plays, and obviously there's things that when you watch that game where we didn't get stops when we needed them, didn't execute, didn't get the first downs. I mean, and those are things that I think that we continue to get better at. And I know that sounds, well, you said that last week, and you said that last week, and you said, but that's a process. And I think that's with our team and with our guys that we've got right now, that's a learning process that I think you've seen, and anyways I've seen us get better at through the weeks. Now it's, okay, where are we at now that we don't make that, where we don't continue to put ourselves in that position throughout and finish the whole game.
So along those lines, and something that you've discussed in the past, and so we've talked about, you've had changes that come up every week, something changes and you don't know it's coming. There were three I wanted to ask about, but one of them, there were two passes from Acosta to Frakes, and they were overthrown by, I don't know what, 2 steps or something like that. But Frakes had the separation. How much of that is it's those guys aren't used to playing? The timing is key on those things, and so was he bumped at the line that caused that? And it's one of those things where if you're used to. Maybe you're used to Minert throwing that pass or something like that. So the timing is just a little bit different. How much of that was, or do you know?
I don't know to that end. I think, it was an overthrown ball or on whatever, the situation was on that. Those guys in practice, we execute, and they, whether it was, had a little extra juice in it, or
he got
bumped off his route and had to readjust, and things don't time up. And you talk about the timing piece. But that's part of it. We've got to be able to adapt to that and make those plays. But all those things kind of. I mean, that was a couple of those were wide open.
Yeah, he had really nice. Yeah, we were like, there it is, and not.
Yeah.
The other play that was, I think we ended up getting 3, but it was the pass play to Zach Grace in the end zone, and it looked like he got turned around. He was looking forward over his right shoulder and went left, or maybe the reverse. Is that? Did he get turned around, or is that one of those things where you expect it over here? How'd that?
I think when you're talking about pass plays like that, and then the it's such a minute or not detailed thing on precision and running your routes. I think a couple things probably with the linebackers there and getting hit off the line and the missed timing, getting turned around and turning back to find the ball. He does a great job of running his routes and obviously Ian throwing the ball and again that timing piece, the where you at and getting separation at the line of scrimmage, being a tight end with a guy sitting on top of you and redirecting, and those are things that are getting where we need to be, and I think you're going to see more of those being completed on that end.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. I mean, not to make excuses, but you take out the disruptions of the year and how close that's 21 points right there. Maybe -3 because I think you got a field goal on the one with Zach, but you're still looking at 18 points. I can't help but think if this were a normal season, we didn't have, and it's an excuse, and I know that's not. And Brian's over there shaking his head, but man, there are so many things that disrupt the timing of a normal season and the practice and all that. I don't know how you guys.
You can say that, but I mean, our kids don't believe that. They don't. There's no excuses. I mean, we try to put them in those adverse conditions during practice when we're running plays, running routes, defensively, offensively, special teams wise, to kind of go through those scenarios of what that looks like, so that when it does happen in a game, you got to be able to overcome them. And I think everybody's in the same boat. I mean, the bottom line is we got to be able to make the plays when they're there, and I see us doing that. I mean, I think you saw that on Friday, and I think as you look through and find the positive points in a game, we've built on those throughout the season, and we've just come up short a couple times, or didn't finish like we wanted to make the play that we needed to make. And I still believe our team is coming where they need to be at the right time, and I think we got Reed's Spring this Friday. We got Grandview, we got DeSoto, and then we start our district play, which is going to be obviously our district is going to be a tough district, but we feel pretty good where we're at, and going to be working through. And our kids believe, they buy in, they know where we're at and what needs to happen, and that's the piece. I said before, they see how close we are, and football is a game, and I relate everything to life, because I think football teaches you a lot about life, immensely, of getting through adverse times and being high, and then all of a sudden being low, with how things go through and how you deal with it. And I think our kids and our guys are learning that, and are definitely taking a step in the right direction for what we need to do in preparation for the rest of our season, because there's a lot of football left, and we're a good football team, and we'll be fine.
And I got one more question.
Go ahead, Jim.
When Breedlove kicked his extra point and he missed it, we thought he made it. What did you think?
It looked like it.
Because it's funny, on the broadcast, we talked about it for 10 minutes.
Because
that was the greatest kick I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then Brian's over there going,
right?
yeah.
He's shaking his head. No. And Brian's saying, no, it's no good.
And
and that's
did the rule change?
It sure looked like it went between the uprights. Yeah.
And it looked, it was a perfect, it's not like it looked like a shot duck or anything.
Right.
It looked good.
He's a heck of a kicker.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Yeah.
So is it like where they,
That's why they stand right underneath
just
the goal
a bit
post.
outside.
Hell yeah, man.
It didn't even look close from where I was. I was like,
I know, and we were championing.
Yeah,
we were talking about how great he was and everything else,
gosh.
and then we're kind of looking at the scoreboard, going, "What?"
Let's do this. I have number 42. KJ Smith had one heck of a night. We watched this kid on 15 carries. 178 yards. Listen, I'll take that any night. I'll take that from a team of running backs. I'll take that from my totals on any game at the running back position. Average 11.9 yards a carry. That's over a first down every time he touched the ball, and a touchdown. Now, what about this guy? First of all, I want to say that he is our Stables Player of the Week, and congratulations, KJ Smith, for doing a nice job. We just absolutely loved calling your number, and as many times as we got to, you did not disappoint. So congratulations, young man. Nicely done. But let's talk about him.
Yeah, he runs with a little passion. And,
yes.
You saw his he has some great cuts, has some good vision on that, and he's a pretty smart football player. He plays defense as well, plays linebacker. Was able to come in there and play running back, and really did a nice job in doing so. And I think when you rush for over 200 plus yards as a whole, that says a lot about our O-line.
Yes. Starting
to click and things clicking the way that they need to do. And then KJ's ability to see the holes, make a cut, make a move to make a guy miss, and or to spin out of it. He did a really good job, and definitely well deserving of your stables player of the week
No
for
doubt.
sure.
Thanks for the plug, Coach. That was nicely done. Do we have any sound of
wait
KJ?
a minute. If he's going to do that, have you ever had their pretzel bites? It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, man, you can't miss the pretzel bites. We love the stables. Do we have some sound on that, Brian? You're looking. No, I don't think that was the one, but we can talk about that if you'd like, because it's worthwhile too. Let's listen to the play of the game, since we're championing our sponsors here, and this would be your Kearney Chamber of Commerce play of the week. Brian's going to set this thing up for us, and he's ready.
The ball rests at we'll call it the 17-yard line. With Breedlove, you could kick a field goal, no question. Does Winnetonka have a kicker? Probably not that could do that. So they are forced almost to go for it at 4th down. Satterwhite drops back. He's under immediate pressure. He breaks free from one, rolls to the right, throws toward the end zone, intercepted in the end zone, and they're going to drop right there. Good decision.
Beautiful job by number 13. Our guy, Joe Marshall, the sophomore, and wide receiver D-back. He stopped. It looked like he was getting ready to run that ball out of the end zone, Jim, and he thought better of it and hit the dirt. There we are. Smart move, by the way, because it looked like, I see daylight. I'm going to run this. I'm going to run the ball. But he just, so you could tell, you could just, as I think I mentioned, that he just, you could see the gears turning underneath his helmet. And he's like, nope, I'm going to go down on my knee right here in the end zone. I'm going to take it on the 20 and regain possession.
What a heck of a play. He's been gotten better each week. He's a heck of a corner for us, heck of an athlete.
Right.
He might have been fast enough to make it out of there.
I'm thinking he might have,
but
too.
I'm glad he took a knee.
And I saw him.
We've been down this road before.
That's right. Yep. That was a heck of an interception, heck of a play by him, and being in position to pick that off and then to fall down and take a knee and get down.
Well, let's be honest about it, too. Satterwhite is one heck of an athlete, the quarterback of Winnetonka Griffins. And the other gentleman, number 11, I'm trying to think of, was one of his receivers, Essex.
Yeah.
And then the running back, I've probably got him here, Montre Moore, who is explosive. I mean, that guy was something. This team, the Kearney Bulldogs, did a terrific job, I think, through almost 4 quarters of keeping those guys under control. And I know it's so hard for me to say that, as it is difficult for you to hear it, but you know this. And I think you're right. What we did see is we saw the Kearney Bulldogs play a team that is now 6-0. They were 5-0 at the time, but this team stood up and played them. I mean, yard for yard, second by second. They did a terrific job. The Bulldogs did, no doubt about it. And you just like seeing that kind of growth from what I consider to be a young football team that is beginning, as you say, to come into their own.
Yeah, making plays like that and being smart and doing the, doing the things that we're starting to be more regular at. And that's why I say it's the things are starting to click and things are starting to gel where we need to gel, so we can finish the game. With
but
that.
One of the things that's interesting about that is because we've talked about how important points are nowadays, and that is a situation like we astutely brought up during the game. If we were in that situation, Breedlove probably would have just come in and kicked field goal, and you get your 3 points.
Right.
They didn't. I don't think they have a kicker because they never kicked it that I recall,
or they didn't trust.
They didn't
their
even
kicker.
try for an extra point.
Yeah.
They always went for 2. So the benefit of having somebody like Breedlove where you can come in, because 3 point, and they lost not only 3 points, they had a turnover.
Right.
So they lost twice on that deal.
We feel pretty confident having him in the Swiss Army knife to come out to come out and throw a kick through. So
let's come back
and that.
Yeah, let's listen to some sound when we get back. You're listening to the Coach Gray Show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Making our programming possible on KPGZ are these fine underwriters.
Oak Point Assisted Living and Memory Care. What else would you expect? After all, you're home.
When I looked into an assisted living facility, I was immediately attracted to Oak Point's amenities. I get 3 delicious meals daily in restaurant-style dining areas and a trained staff on site.
To set up a tour or learn more information, please contact Tara at 816-628-0075 or visit the website at provisionliving.com.
I'm Sean Barber, owner of Stables Local Kitchen and Patio in Kearney. Stables is a Kearney thing. We love to be the place where people get together. Stables features a full menu with a scratch kitchen, offering lunch and dinner options, as well as a weekend breakfast starting at 8 a.m. on Saturday and Sundays. Stables has been a proud member of the Kearney community for almost 20 years. You can check us out online at stables816.com, and Stables is part of the True 816 family. Eat, drink, local.
Scott Accounting and Tax provides our clients with quality accounting, tax preparation, payroll, and business creation services. Small town friendliness, big town expertise. We make it our business to know your business inside and out. You can trust Scott Accounting and Tax to get your taxes done quickly, correctly, and on time. Appointments now accepted by calling 816-352-3320. That's Scott Accounting and Tax at 816-352-3320. Coach Gray Show is on the air.
Laughlin finds an open seam up the middle. 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown, Garrett Laughlin on a 42-yard run.
Jim Dickerson and Mike Davis take you inside Kearney Bulldog football. The ways in the house of strategy, the honest assessment of skills, the lessons learned.
Corbin Bevan caught the ball in the air in full stride and ran it straight into the end zone untouched.
Go inside your favorite team every week on the Coach Gray Show, Thursdays at noon on 102.7 Kearney's hometown radio station.
Costa hands off up the middle once again. And he breaks free down the middle of the field, and that is going to be no one other than KJ Smith, and he's in for a touchdown.
Oh, Jim, I'm telling you, that had to happen tonight. You know, when you saw KJ Smith with that head of steam in the first half, you knew that sooner or later somebody was going to open up a hole, and they did right up the middle. And I tell you what, that was on a defense, a blitz, and everybody in a white uniform of the Winnetonka Griffins was coming into the backfield, and KJ Smith ran right through every single one of them. He was all alone. I mean, he was hauling you-know-what into the end zone.
Ooh, yeah, he was hauling you-know-what.
I'm just curious. What?
Well, if it were mine, it would take all day. Let me just say that. But nicely done by the young man. That, oh my gosh, with 52 yards, right? I think that was that play. That was a 52-yard run, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I just caught him off guard on the defense. Here they come on a blitz package, and everybody was lined up front. And there goes KJ. Sean speed. I didn't know he had.
Yeah, he's a track kid, and obviously that translates well. But the thing with him is, if you would ask him, the O-line,
right,
again, doing their job of what they need to do to execute, and him finding the running, trusting where he needed to go,
right,
and where he needed to set it up, and then make a nice run out of it, obviously.
Well, it's just so great to see another running back with that capability, with the talent that he has. And honestly, I mean, we watch these kids, and you see one guy going in there, week in and week out, and then all of a sudden, here comes KJ Smith that we have not seen a lot of. We see a lot of him on defense,
right,
obviously, and he's quick to the ball and so forth, and we see that as a linebacker. But man, I mean, carrying the rock like he did was just so impressive and fun to watch too.
Yeah, he's and that's one thing you get with him is you get a competitor, you get somebody that's willing to do whatever, and and like a lot of guys on our team where do you need me? What do you want me to do? And I'll go execute.
Well, speaking of guys and moving around, what about Luke Noland? I noticed he's been bebopping around in different spots, and nobody wants to kick to him. Poor guy.
Yeah, we saw that.
Nothing to take personal, but nobody wants to kick to me. So apparently there's some tape out there that people have seen. Kicking to him is a bad idea.
Yeah. A lot of times that is not boded well for the opponent. And, as a sophomore, what a very coachable and what an athlete that he is. And he's just scratching the surface of what he's capable of doing. But yeah, he's an explosive athlete, offensively, defensively, smart.
Yes.
Special teams, as we've seen.
He's not afraid to make a hit because he's made a couple of.
He likes contact.
Oh man, yes.
He's not afraid of contact.
Right, and you really like seeing that. And I mean, football's clearly, generally, I think football's going a little different direction nowadays. I mean, it really is a passing game, and at times it starts to look a lot like a 7-on-7 contest, and whoever can get the ball most accurately downfield for the farthest wins the game.
Right.
But I mean, here's a guy that I've seen on even on the kickoff team and defending. I mean, playing as a cornerback, where he's absolutely, as you guys say, he breaks down for the tackle, gets in front of the guy, and just puts a lick on them. I mean, and takes him to the ground in a way that certainly can't feel good.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's a football player.
Yes, you love that. It's just classic football, hard-hitting football.
Yeah, he's not intimidated by anything.
No, and sometimes you'll see a guy that's a little, I hate to call him undersized. I mean, he's a sophomore, and he'll probably, put some weight on between now and, I don't know, summer.
Yeah.
So, he's at that age.
He'll be that guy next year. We'll be going, who is that guy?
I was just thinking that same thing, because he'll be one that will
in the weight room.
More.
Yep, gym rat. And how is he in the weight room? I'm just curious. I'll bet he's overachiever.
He does a great job.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to go in there and sling it around. And, and that's what it takes. I mean, if you're going to be you want to be a solid athlete, regardless of whatever sport you're doing, you got to be in the weight room. You got to put your time in there so that you can excel at whatever it is that you're doing, regardless of the sport. So
that explains a lot. Personally, when I misunderstood, I thought they said the meat room, and I ran to the kitchen. So,
I know that feeling. Caden Borchert will be back in the lineup then this Friday. You're shaking your head.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love seeing him having 28 and 42 back there at the same time. Has got to be something scary.
To have those guys being there, kind of a dual threat there.
Ooh,
different,
yeah.
They each have kind of a little twist on how they do things and how they run and what they do. So both are very, very, very capable of carrying the football.
Right, and let's give credit where credit is due on that offensive line, because we saw it through most of that game, if not, every single second of it. That offensive line and you've moved some different guys in and out of there, which makes it even more special. Let's talk about those guys.
Yeah, they've really started gelling together and playing like they know how to, and really being able to, that continuity now is kind of starting to fit in there with them and feeling comfortable and confidence in themselves as they go to play and not think too much, which, sometimes you think too much, that's not a good thing to think. It's better just to execute, or it's better just to go play. And
we've never been accused of thinking too much.
Well, because when we think, that's when things go bad.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, real quick, shout out once again to the Kearney Quarterback Club for all the pictures that are up while we're talking. They've got some great shots in there that we use, and we appreciate that. And there's Costa there.
Yeah.
There's that guy is awesome.
Actually, I think there was one. They actually got a shot of Jim and yours truly from the booth, and I don't know if you added that too.
No, yeah, we don't.
Thanks,
we
Brian.
Don't.
Thanks a lot. Our one chance at fame. You know, I mean, come on, we're media personalities.
There's a reason we do a lot of radio.
Well, that was fun, and thanks so much for those terrific images there. Nicely done, I should say. I'm curious. Can I ask you about some of the guys that are going to be available this Friday? Yes or no? No. Is it fair to? Yeah. I mean, is Dawson Miner going to be available? Do we know? That's what I get.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of thought so. That's all right, and I don't blame you. But it also tells me that there's a 50-50 chance that we'll see him.
There's always a chance.
He's saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, that's those things as you go through, a season in which we are, things are with
right. Well, which is why there's a big, gigantic tip of the hat to the offensive line, because we see different numbers in there. I mean, guys that are that have done a terrific job. We've talked about Kyle Midkiff, and he's great, number 62, the senior, terrific guy.
Yeah.
And Josh Meacham, we saw a little bit of him.
Yeah, he's been playing
too.
really well,
right?
And playing guard for us, and has done a really good job of being piece of that continuity and done really well.
Yeah, and I want to mention this other guy, number 77. Keenan McNally.
Yeah.
Big, tall guy.
Yeah, Keenan's really kind of came into it, figuring some things out and what he's capable of, and has really done a nice job of stepping in and playing some tackle.
Right tackle the other night.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, he did a great job of sealing off that right side, and you could see it on every single play. I mean, it's hard to miss him because he's so darn tall.
Yeah.
But then I kept
seeing
he's a big
rascal.
Yeah. So good for him being out there and doing a good job over on that right side.
Yep. Him and Cade Dunlap and Lucas Starr and Briggs Twilliger, and like you said, Josh Meacham, all have done a great job of stepping up and clicking.
Yep.
I guess would be.
Yep, I would agree.
So, little off the wall question here: what time do you guys have to leave tomorrow? Like 9 a.m? I mean, you don't want to wheel up right at game time and hop off.
We're just going to get off the bus and
just walk right out.
We're riding.
Have all your gear on.
We're going to be fully geared up in the buses for the 3.5 hours.
That sounds
helmets
fun.
on, mouthpieces in, and we're going to get off the bus
just like we do here.
And that. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh mercy!
We're not going to do that. We're going to leave in the afternoon to get down there in plenty of time and kind of stay on schedule with, our typical arrival time for an away game.
Well, and you've got to, I assume, I mean, you want to get off the bus and even a kid stretch your legs and stuff. I mean, you don't want to get up and I'll stove up.
Yeah.
You get on. I mean, you can't sit on a bus like that for 3 hours and then go play
a
football.
game.
Yeah.
No, we'll take a little break on our way down there and get a little stop in and get out, stretch, get a little food in us. And,
there you go.
And get back on and get off the bus and be ready to roll.
Let's listen to it. We've got sound on Ian Acosta too. This is for a touchdown, Brian. That was on cut 2, I believe, and don't want to miss this one.
Ian Acosta moves up under center. He's going to take the snap, keep it himself. They're going to push forward into the end zone, and that's going to be a touchdown for your Kearney Bulldogs. A 1-yard quarterback keeper by Ian Acosta with 6:56 left to go in this first quarter. Outstanding job by the offensive line of the Kearney Bulldogs. They were not going to be denied. They pushed and pushed everybody in those white jerseys of the Winnetonka Griffins out of the way like a big road grader. Nice job, everybody, and a touchdown by Ian Acosta.
So 2 things on that. First of all, it wasn't the first quarter; it was the second.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I messed it up.
Yeah,
because
it happens.
My understanding there would be no math again. The second thing was, how about those Kearney fans?
Right.
Yeah.
Because even at a limited, we're not like the NFL. We're not piping noise in the
that's
background.
The real deal.
That's real people, and that's real cowbell you heard right there.
It was.
So yeah, I mean they've been really, and the funny thing is when you guys are when the defense is holding on a 3rd or 4th down, They get loud.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear it down there.
No, we
but
can.
Yeah.
The kids definitely can. I mean, and we hear it, and that's great support, and that's much needed, especially at a home game or away, or whatever we're able to take and have. And on that,
Right.
we were able to get some kids in there on Friday too, which was good for kind of a homecoming.
Yeah.
And who's the homecoming king?
Yeah.
That would be Dawson Minor.
Yep. Yeah, and he was the only homecoming king candidate who had a jersey number.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Were you ever homecoming king?
No.
Were
No.
you ever homecoming king?
I don't remember.
I think if they had a homecoming weenie, that would have been me.
I was homecoming peasant 3 years in a row.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
So,
No.
hey, do you want to do some trivia about Reed Springs before we go?
No, I'm done. I'm done with your trick. Because
Well, I'll tell you what,
how about you tell me the truth?
Do you know what?
The truth shall set you free. How about you give me the truth?
You will never hear that from Jim.
Why
I
would you want the truth?
You want the truth?
You can't
handle the truth.
What do you think the population of Reed Springs is? Just guess.
Nope. Don't know.
5,700.
5,700. Brian, what do you think? What about you guys in the booth? Okay. The population is 913.
Wow.
Okay.
Look at that.
I thought it would be bigger than that.
Yeah.
I think it's a consolidated. I think there's two towns that come
Oh,
together.
is that what it is?
I believe so.
Okay.
And the
County
community
type thing, yeah.
has the name. It's named after Fitzhugh Reed, who settled there.
What'd you say?
Originally, Fitzhugh.
Bless you.
I thought it was more like Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh. What movie is that from?
Here we go.
Princess Bride?
Doctor?
No.
Doctor. Doctor and Doctor.
Spies Like Us?
There it is. Spies Like Us. Well done.
Nicely done, Coach. Let me ask you this, and this is really important. How can we listen to the game, or how can the fans watch the game? Is there any way that could happen tonight?
Yeah.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I beg your pardon.
But
what day is it? I don't know.
It's on. They have a YouTube station,
Okay.
or they put it on YouTube. Wolves.
We'll find it.
Wolves, and then they do have a radio station.
What?
I hear radios turning off all over the country.
Yeah. But they do have a radio station that'll play it. That they've got a link. Probably not as
Not as good as this.
No,
one.
of course
Yeah,
not.
right.
They don't do sound effects.
That goes without
Right.
saying.
Live sound effects.
And
This
they
isn't-
probably don't
this
have a
isn't-
coach. What's that guy's
Ratio.
n- Well, whatever their coach's name is, but what is your name?
Reed.
Yeah.
Do you know the coach?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know.
I wouldn't expect you to from clear down there.
I don't.
Yeah. I
love when I can make Brian laugh.
Now that we've lost the whole show, what are you guys going to stop and eat on the way down?
We're worried about the football game.
Take some
get
pretzel
fed.
bites with you.
Pretzel bites from Staples.
Right.
That's probably not a good idea.
That would probably not be.
Yeah, maybe for after the game, but not during the game. Well, good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's
Appreciate
it's
it.
going to be interesting to travel 738,000 miles to go down there.
It'll be good.
Are you
It'll be
guys
good.
So if this trend continues, are you going to charter a plane eventually?
Well, maybe you could fly us.
Probably could.
Perfect.
Yeah, no reason not to.
Yeah.
The airport in Reed Springs is probably kind of small.
You can fly us into Branson.
They don't have a whole lot of flights going in and out of there, but
Yeah. You never know.
yeah. But
Never know.
I
like the sound
I don't
of
know
it.
where else to go with this.
No,
so when it goes downhill like this, you know what I do?
Right there it is.
Mike?
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Coach, for being with us today. Thank you, as always. It's just a pleasure having you in here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. Best of luck to the Kearney Bulldogs tomorrow night at Reeds Spring, Missouri, and we're hoping for a Kearney Bulldog win. We're going to figure out where you can watch that game, and we'll let you know somehow, some way. But don't hesitate to look up on Google where you might be able to see or hear that game. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Coach Gray Show. Thanks so much for being with us.